Personally speaking, I've had 2 sleep paralysis experiences in my whole life. The first one was in 2007. And keep in mind here, before I got saved, I enjoyed a lot of horror movies, but I thought paranormal stuff was just really ridiculous and stupid and didn't really believe in it. And after I got saved, I didn't really have an informed opinion about all this paranormal stuff. But then this weird experience happened. So it was 2007. I woke up about 2:30 or maybe 3 a.m. in the morning. And I know that makes it more dramatic because that's like close to the witching hour. I woke up, I couldn't move, I couldn't speak, I couldn't do anything, but I was completely awake. But because of this and not really sure what was going on, I clinged to a Bible verse. Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me. And because I couldn't say anything, I was just repeating that verse in my head. I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me. And I kept repeating it in my head. And then I could whisper it. I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me. And I just kept repeating it in that whispering voice. And then I could finally move again. I was thankful for that, but I was just thinking, what in the world was that? And I didn't tell anybody for a while because it was very bizarre and I don't know what they would have thought of it. But I wanted to do research on it. So even in Google, I didn't type in sleep paralysis because I didn't even know that was a thing. So I typed in, what is it when you wake up and you can't move and speak? Now, the second one was several years later. This was in 2013, and I was in grad school at this time. And to save money for grad school and pay for that as I went along, I lived in this off-the-grid shed. It was very primitive, very low budget, but it was a money saver for me at the time. And this weird thing, it was really early in the morning, maybe around 3, and I wouldn't say exactly that I woke up. It was very weird. It was more like a trance. This trance felt like it was between sleep and awake. So whatever this was, I mean, I'm laying there. I could see the room as it usually is, and it's a very small room because, like I said, it was this off-the-grid shed. But it was like wind was blowing very strongly in the room, and things were kind of rippling in the wind, like my clothes were hanged up and they were rippling in the wind, and it just seemed very windy and noisy. What was vastly different was at the end of my bed was what I described to be a demon. It really reminded me of the demon from Fantasia, and just imagine that without the wings, but it looked exactly like that. And it had those piercing, glowing red eyes. And it was very tall. So if it's standing at the end of my bed and the ceiling is 9 to 10 feet, it's almost touching the ceiling. And as it's standing there, it reaches down at the end of the bed for something on the floor. And I can't see what it is because I'm just laying there paralyzed. And when it picks up his hand, it's holding a pile of black snakes. And these snakes are slithering and they're just falling off this demon's hand. I repeat the verse, Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me. But I'm not saying it aloud. I'm saying it in my head. And I'm just repeating it and repeating it and repeating it. And eventually this demon just fades away very slowly. And when it fades away completely, that's when I realized I'm fully awake. And the room before was windy and this demon's here and it's very bizarre. And as he fades away, nothing supernatural is there and the room is still, there's no wind, and it is as it was before. Now, there are scientific explanations for this. The popular one is that while you're asleep, your body is paralyzed. And this is so the body doesn't act out certain dreams. So if you're having a dream about fighting a bear or something, if you're laying in bed to keep yourself from thrashing around and hitting stuff and hitting your nightstand or whatever is close by, your wife that's laying in bed with you, this is the body's way of keeping itself still during these intense nightmarish dreams, or any dream for that matter. I mean, after all, my second experience could have very well been a dream. I mean, like I said, I wasn't sure if I was awake or still asleep. So I'm not just going to go out there and say it was absolutely this demonic visit, but it was very strange, and I was definitely awake for the first one, but the second one was very unsure. So sure, it could have very well just been very intense nightmare. So maybe the body is paralyzed when you're asleep. And in the case of the first experience, sleep paralysis occurs when you wake up in the middle of that cycle and your body's still paralyzed. Maybe, but why is it always negative? As most people don't remember their dreams, that's very common. Sleep paralysis will only occur when there's an extreme nightmare going on. And then you wake up, and yeah, the nightmare was intense, but a lot of times you might not even remember it. So when you wake up, you're still feeling the residual hallucinations of that dream. And so you're paralyzed like you would be if you're sleeping, but you're also seeing things that aren't there as you're awake. The lingering effects of the nightmare is still there. And since nightmares cause your body to want to get out of that situation, that's why all the sleep paralysis episodes are negative. As opposed to having a great dream, well, you don't want to wake up from that. I'm not ruling out these scientific explanations, but some paralysis victims, they swear that these are not just dream hallucinations. These are actually real entities coming to visit them. And let's just say this. Even if this is real, this was actually demonic attacks. Because I'm saved, and not to sound macho, in both of these situations, I did not lose control in my mind. I was not in this overwhelming state of fear, even though I couldn't move. And I did not fear being possessed, because I don't believe Christians can be possessed. Now, Christians can be attacked by the devil and tempted by the devil, as in the case of Job from the Bible. He was attacked by the devil only because God allowed him to be attacked by the devil. So Job wasn't possessed, he was only attacked by the devil to be tested. Plus, I had no fear that I was going to be killed. I just thought these were both very bizarre situations, and either it's a medical or scientific issue, or it could have been a spiritual attack, in which case I felt like Jesus Christ had my back.